Let's party. Let's always a party. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh,
Bay,
wait.
B.
Let me join. Wait, I don't know if I've ever successfully
Done like a wave.
did this. Like what? I feel like Paul's the guy that will go to a sporting event and he's the guy that starts the wave. Have you ever started a wave where the whole stadium and the whole arena were doing it? Well, probably at the Devils game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At the Devils game, I'm the guy who starts the chants. I'm the guy who waves the flag. But starting a wave is a group effort. That is not one singular man. I think you need at least 4 to 5 people. I mean, it's a peer pressure thing, and it's definitely like something where you have to get people involved. So
I don't know if just like a section even gets that done. Like you need like multiple sections to get that wave going.
Yeah, it's hard.
Paul's cracking over a White Claw show. We're on a diet. That's what we are.
It is a White Claw show. So actually, we had a person. If you've been listening to the show, Ryan doesn't like when I crack the beer.
I don't.
Or the White Claw right into the mic. And we were like arguing about it a couple shows ago, and had a friend reach out and said, "Hey, if you don't do the crack into the mic, I am boycotting the show." I love that. And I was like, there you go, man. You have people who enjoy the crack.
And we have people who enjoy the slurp. Like we do have those. We have those people. Have you ever had that White Claw iced tea peach?
I haven't. It's okay. It's not as good as as I thought.
I got a White Claw lemon. I do like it. I do really like it.
So the other week, I mean, there's so much alcohol coming out.
So much.
Everyone's just trying to compete with everyone. And White Claw is doing a bunch of new stuff this summer. So they did like iced teas, and they have peach, lemon, what is it? Peach, lemon, mango, and there's and then maybe there's like one more. But it's just it's just crazy. And then that's a White Claw just lemon, not an iced tea, but just lemon flavor. So like, what's the difference between iced tea lemon and then White Claw lemon?
I'm not sure. The can looks there. It's very confusing. But now we got to call out our reinforcers.
Okay.
Like we need to call in reinforcement for all these new alcohol drops. Like there's a ton of seltzer going down. Paul called me up the other day. He said, "Yo, have you seen these alcoholic like ice pops?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, I haven't. Why hasn't this been a thing? We need them ASAP." So if you're out of the stores and you see some new seltzer that's dropping and you go pick it up, or you see these ice pop that Paul's probably gonna explain because he's really pumped up about it, just send us a DM. Let us know what location, what liquor store they're at. We'll hop into that liquor store and then we'll go get it and we'll do a review on the show. So definitely let us know. We're calling reinforcement. Let us know about the alcohol.
There's these like popsicles. It's in those tubes. You put the tube, it's liquid. You throw it in the freezer. You loved it as a kid. You don't know what to call it. You know
Without the alcohol, you loved it.
You loved it. Yeah.
You love putting Jack Daniels in your icy when you were 10 years old.
And Bud Light is coming out with a bunch of them. And I actually just saw a commercial today for Truly. And Truly's doing it too.
That's what I was going to say.
I was like, dude, everyone's doing this.
I saw the ice pops for Truly and I was like, was this what Paul was talking about? But I thought he said Bud Light. So Bud Light's doing it. But did they say what flavors they're doing?
Who? Truly?
No, Bud Light.
No,
I would love clue. Am I a psychopath for just wanting a Bud Light? That Bud Light ice pop? That is just the original Bud Light flavor.
Absolutely. I don't want beer that's frozen. I want like a fruity ice pop that has some alcohol in it. And I think that's what everyone else wants. I don't think you just want a Bud Light.
Bud Light ice pop.
Frozen. That's stupid.
All right, so this is a good segue into a shout out. We have another collaboration that we're going to get going. And if you're on YouTube, Paul's popping it up now. He's got a Dizzy Bat. Now, if you're not familiar with the game, it's a very good day drinking game. You go out with your friends. You put the beer in the top. Look at me. It's like a commercial. It's like I'm narrating the commercial and Paul's my model. So you put the beer in the top of the Dizzy Bat, just like so. And then you chug your beer. You got to drink it fully. And however long it takes you to chug your beer is how many spins you have to do. So once you chug the beer, you spin around on the bow on the ground. Say you take 10 seconds to chug the beer, 10 spins. Another a pitcher throws you a can or a ball, and you swing after spinning, and then there it is. That's the game, Dizzy Bat.
Dizzy Bat. I was burping, but Dizzy Bat. Dizzy Bat's pretty cool. Appreciate them reaching out to us. I think their @ is like Dizzy Bat Beer. And like appreciate the bat. We're gonna be using it soon. We tried to use it last weekend. I used it. I didn't get a great video because I spun a little too hard. Unfortunately, did not get a video.
Paul's always making videos that he doesn't want to post. Chugged that one too slow. Can't post that one. I fell while spinning on the Dizzy Bat. Can't post that one. Nope. But what we were saying is like back in the day, Dizzy Bat's been a game for a little bit, and this is a newer product. So back in the day, or not even just back in the day, maybe like a week ago, you would have to cut the yellow soft wiffle ball bat with like scissors or like some sharp object like a saw or something, and then you would pour the beer into the bat and then play the game Dizzy Bat. But hey, COVID times call for desperate measures, and this is a great invention that's a little late to the party, but we're glad to have it.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Dizzy Bat.
We're going to do some videos soon. So I can really mash a ball, mash a can. You know what I'm saying, Paul?
Yeah, pay attention to the Instagram. Pay attention to the TikTok if you're not following us already at Life's a Party Pod. So go over there, check that out, and let's start the show.
Wait, I got a question about TikTok before we start the show.
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
What's this new trend? I don't know if I'm just stupid, because like nowadays, I don't know if it's like my age range or it's just like my stupidity, but
I know exactly what you're going to ask.
On these videos, I'm starting to have to go to the comments section because I'm lost.
Okay.
And like I never know what's going on, and I'm getting really confused. And one trend that's really hot right now is the Adult Swim trend. I have no idea what it is. It's just these people doing normal shit, and then they put like these parentheses AS for Adult Swim, and I have no idea what it means. I think I'm just lost. I really am. I just need help, someone to explain this to me.
So this is the best thing that any business or company could ever ask for.
It's a business move?
I don't think it is, but I'm saying...
Oh, what do they ask for?
I'm saying I think that this company, like Adult Swim, if you know the like Adult Swim, basically it's a brand on... like Cartoon Network, happens like at night. Maybe you were a kid, and like Robot Chicken, like these more adult shows.
So this is like when little Johnny gets ready for bed on a Monday night. He's watching Cartoon Network, falls asleep, wakes up 3 a.m, TV's still on.
Boom.
And there's some naked girl putting cream cheese and bagels on her boobies.
Yeah, agreed.
That's what Adult Swim is?
I mean, Adult Swim is, it's not porn, no. But it's more like adult.
I must have been watching something else.
Yeah, you definitely were.
Little Rye Guy was not. He was a little ahead of the game from Little Johnny.
But yeah, it's just like that brand. It kind of, I believe that's how like the Adult Swim programming starts. Is this trend where they're doing something and they say a few things and they're like, "Hey man, like don't know how to swim," or it's like you can always use floaties. Like don't worry about it. And then boom, like. The parentheses AS for Adult Swim will pop up on the screen. Well, basically, people are getting really creative with this trend, and they're just doing anything in their normal activities. And I've seen ones that are insane. Like one was a girl on a chalkboard, and she was writing all the stuff on the chalkboard, or she was doing like an art piece, and then she gets frustrated. She takes the eraser and she starts erasing, and like somehow like AS will come up. Or
dude, I saw a kid eating grilled cheese, and it was like burnt. Only at the part where it had parentheses AS, and I was like, what is this?
This is one of the most creative trends that I've ever seen on TikTok so far.
But, like, what is AS? Like, what? So...
It's just Adult Swim. It's just
random... So, it's... Okay. So, it's just, like, random stuff you do in your everyday life with Adult Swim brand logo in the video.
I think it's mimicking how the programming from, like, Cartoon Network to Adult Swim starts. It's like, hey, like...
oh, yeah, like...
So, it's like, hey...
Here's
like,
the warning.
It's like, hey, we're switching over... And it's kind of this little,
but it's
play.
Subtle.
Yeah, this subtle thing. And what's so interesting about the videos is that, like, you want to keep watching. You know what's going to happen because there's this certain music that plays. And everyone's like, okay, this is the Adult Swim trend. But you're so curious to see how creative this person will get and where will the parentheses end up. Even if you don't know what it means, as Ryan said, like, you're still interested.
That's like the other trend on TikTok before we get into the show is like where the guy kicks the football. Like NFL posted a video of this guy, like, I don't know if he was like a frat boy, but his boy's just holding the ball down. He kicks it through the window. And like all these people are doing bits about like, oh, you're still here? You thought the ball was going to hit me? Well, you're wrong. And they start doing some weird shit. But it's just like creative stuff like that. I was just so confused about the Adult Swim. I had to bring it up on the show because I just needed to know like what was going on. First of all, how is Adult Swim allowed to go after Cartoon Network? I feel like that should not be allowed at all.
Just how it is. It's
that's probably why. That's probably how parental controls came about.
Probably. You're probably right.
It's probably like, oh shit, Cartoon Network goes into Adult Swim. We need to add parental controls to our TV so my kid doesn't watch bagel boobies, cream cheese at 3 a.m. All right, so let's get in the show. We like to start some drinking. We already did some drinking talk with Dizzy Bat. Shout out. Paul took a sip. You give a rate for that White Claw?
Nah, it's not that good. 7-2.
Okay. That's actually a pretty good score. But
yeah, it is. Not gonna lie.
Our first topic is we're gonna talk about some things that people think of when they're drunk is a good idea, But in actuality, when you're sober, it's not a good idea at all.
Drunk thoughts, they're usually, I want to say they're good, but they're not. You know what I mean? You think
They're not.
the drunkenness clouds your judgment. That's all we're going to say.
They feel right in the moment, but when you wake up the next day, it's just not it. It's just not it. So the first one that seems like a good idea when you're drunk in the moment is stealing something odd. And the first thing that comes to my mind is like a stop sign or like a street sign.
Yeah.
Like that is like when you go to frat bars or sorority houses, what do you see when you walk in? Street signs or stop signs or things of that nature.
Yeah, like construction signs. Like I feel like that's definitely one of the things to steal while you're drunk. I was telling you this the other day where there used to be an old TikTok trend, as we always talk about TikTok, where some guy would be like, tell me about the weirdest thing that you've ever stolen from a bar. And these frat guys, like, duetted it or stitched it or whatever, and they stole a full statue of a Captain Morgan from like a bar down in Florida. Now, once I say Florida, I don't think it really surprises me anymore.
Like one piece, this thing was?
Like a 6 foot tall.
Well, how do you even you can't take that out the front door.
I have no clue, dude.
I mean, there's got to be more context to that story. Remember in high school, we wanted to do our senior prank? We have a ginormous night in our theater.
We did want to do that.
And it's how tall do you think that thing is?
So probably
Like at least
25
30 feet?
Yeah, 25 feet.
And we want to steal it.
We had an idea when we were seniors in high school. Our high school mascot was the Silver Knight. And in our auditorium, right in front of our stage, like to the corner where it was kind of out of view of the stage and stuff, but still like very visible, obviously.
Yeah, 30 feet tall, he's going to be visible.
Was this custom made like aluminum metal statue of a knight. And I remember a few of us were like, yo, how cool would it be if we stole that? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, we don't even have to steal it because it's a felony. Like, let's just move it. Let's like move it to a weird part in the school. Like, let's move it to the gym or let's move it out back on the football field. Like, because it's going to be very hard to get back in the building. Like it's just so big. And we never did it because we couldn't even get it out of the auditorium without,
we couldn't figure out a game plan. So I need to know what that team's game plan was to get that statue out of that bar or restaurant, because that's something else.
I'm curious to see, like, let us know. We'll post this somewhere if you want to post in the comments or something. Let us know like the weirdest thing that you've ever done,
and then we'll try to do the same thing. Like you tell us what you did, and me and Paul will go out and do it.
What's the weirdest thing that you've ever stolen while drunk? We're curious to see. Maybe we'll put a poll on Instagram or something.
Here's the thing, like if you steal it and you're like a kind person at heart and you wake up the next morning and you see it, do you go, do I bring that back? Like there's got to be a moment where it's like, I should go bring that back. Could you imagine bringing back that statue to knock on the front door? Excuse me, we have your 6 foot statue. We took it last night. We feel bad. So here it is.
That's a hard thing to realize though, because it's like, what do you like? You have to be like, what do you do? Because if you want to be a nice person and return it, like you're gonna look more of an asshole returning it. Like you might as well just keep it, even though you don't.
It's like
want
the
to.
walk of shame, but with a 6 foot. What statue was it? What was it you said?
Captain Morgan statue.
Captain Morgan statue. That's a walk of shame with a 6 foot Captain Morgan statue.
But that's always the thing. If you were drunk, if you black out, if you're like drunk and you black out, you can always have those Steve Urkel moments. You know what I mean?
Steve Urkel.
Like, did I do that?
Who's Steve Urkel?
Steve Urkel.
I know Urkel.
From Family Matters?
Yeah, but...
It's like, did I do that?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So when you're drunk and you don't know, you black out, you have those Steve Urkel moments, and that's just life.
I think I would have kept the statue. That's a great story to tell. Okay, well, what's the next one? That seems like a good idea, but it's not when you're sober.
The next one is... When you're drunk, you always think it is a good idea to have a conversation with your Uber driver. I'm going to let you know, it's not. You might think it's you might be that guy in the front seat. When you're in the Uber and there's like 4 of you and you have 3 in the back, and before you walk in the Uber, what do? You look at everyone and you say, all right, who's in the front?
You got to pick who's sitting in the front seat. And most of the time, it's your most talkative friend.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, like, Joe, Paul, you're in the front. Paul's a front seat guy.
I am.
This is a thing, like, who of your friends is the front seat guy? Tag him in his video. This might be a take. Who's the front seat guy if you're taking an Uber? Who needs to sit in the front and have a conversation with the Uber driver to make it not awkward? But the thing about you want to talk to the driver so bad. It's like one of the things I brought up the other day was that when you get into an Uber, I try so hard not to say the magic words. It's like you get into the Uber and you're like, Ryan, don't say it, Ryan. Ryan, don't you dare. Ryan, don't say it. Busy night tonight? Is this like your last ride? Like everyone always asks like how the night's going.
There's a few questions that when you get in an Uber and you're drunk, you always want to ask. And he probably answers this question 15 times a night if he's in a busy city. He's like, do you enjoy working for Uber? Has it been a busy night? When did you start working for Uber?
It's literally 3 or 4 questions.
And it's like, dude, he doesn't like.
But you try so hard to refrain yourself from asking that, but
Yeah.
you can't stop. It's just like what everyone has to do is ask the Uber, like, how his night's been doing? Is Uber good? Things of that nature. Paul was a Lyft driver.
Yeah, I did. Well, I did
So
Uber and Lyft.
what were your most asked questions in the car? Did you get a lot?
I only did it for like 3 months. I was fortunate. I didn't have many weirdos in my car. That's like the biggest thing. Depending on what time you drive.
Or where?
Yeah. If you drive,
Yeah.
if you go in like a city or something, you're in a sketchy area. I was younger. I think I started Uber when I was 21 when I did it for like 3 months.
Paul had his permit and he was doing Uber.
And I had these girls
His
come
mom
in.
had to come with him. She was the front seat guy.
Dude,
she was in the front. Paul was Uber. Yo, you gotta make a living somehow. You gotta make some beer money when you're 16. Paul was Ubering.
Not a bad idea.
That is not a bad
If you're
idea.
16, get your mom to come with
Well, you
your
have to be
Ubers.
21, right? Or you have to. Isn't the
Yeah, 21.
apply process? You could speak on it way better, but isn't it like really strict on how to become for an Uber? Like you have to have a certain dated car.
Yeah,
There's stuff like that.
For Uber, there's certain things where your car has to be like certain like mine's an '08, and I think it was 18 was the year I was driving or 2018 was the year I was driving for Uber. So I think it has to be like within like 15 years old, which is still like
No,
that's
I did not
decent.
qualify.
Yeah, it's like 21. 21. You have to have a certain like mileage on your car too, I think was a thing. So I mean, there's certain like certain qualifications, but I always got asked like, oh, like you're like really young, like how old are you? And it was like, oh, you're like the youngest like Uber. I was picking up people from bars, and I don't even know if I was 21 yet.
Dude, you could have been a legend. You could have been like Paul the Uberman rookie card. Like card collecting's big right now. Paul could have had the Paulie J, the Uberman.
I
And
love-
that was a rookie card.
Yeah.
You get that in the sleeve, you might sell that for thousands.
would have been expensive. Yeah,
Would have been a hell of a career.
I know.
All right, next one is singing aloud at a bar. So I mean, this is kind of iffy because like being the life of the party, you have to like singing and dancing is being the life of the party, and you shouldn't care about how you sound. But at times, if you go a little above the octave, I mean, I understand how it could feel like you're doing a good job, but you're not in retrospect.
Yeah.
So definitely singing at a bar can feel like a good idea, but in reality, it's not.
Everyone thinks they're a good singer when they're drunk,
Yeah, that's
and I
how
think
you
that's
should
kind of
put it.
Yeah, I mean, even like a good dancer. I mean, you could put dancing on this list as well, where it's like if you're dancing real hard at the wedding, right, and you're plastered, like you just go you go super hard. You might like, break a bone. You might smack the bride in the face. Like you can go really hard, and you think that you're doing the best breakdancing job on the planet, but then you see that wedding video 2 months later,
And you're doing Gangnam Style. You remember that dance?
yeah, Gangnam Style.
You're
Back in the day.
Dougie in. Like, no, it's not a good idea. It might feel like a good idea after 3 shots of Fireball, but Gangnam Style on the dance floor of the wedding is not the move. It's not the move.
No, it's not the move.
Gangnam Style.
So,
It's the Gangnam Style. Sexy lady.
That was I think this is so weird where I feel as though Gangnam Style comes back into my life more than it should.
Really?
Like somebody said it the other day. It was like, remember that time, 2012, Gangnam Style. I was like, why do we always think about that? And why does everyone know exactly what year that came out? Like everyone knows. They're like 2012. That was 2012.
That was the year we were gonna die.
Yeah.
So we were going out with Gangnam Style. All right. So what's the next one? I'm done talking about Gangnam Style.
Going out with Gangnam Style.
Going out with Gangnam Style.
Next thing you might think is a great idea while you're drunk, but it's not, is walking home. So
We're not telling my story.
No, but
Paul already told a story about how I got a scar on my face from walking home. But you always think it's a good idea to walk home no matter how far you are away from your house.
Yeah. We live in a small town, so when we go, out to the bar, and we're not promoting drinking and driving. So
Well, you might.
I'm not promoting
might.
drinking and driving. So
I'm not.
find a ride home, but everyone thinks it's a good idea to like walk because it's just the easier option. You don't have to involve anyone else. You don't have to pay for an Uber. You want to walk home. But I'm going to let you know that sometimes, when it gets colder out in the winter, you're like, oh, I got, I'm hot because I got a lot of the, like, all the beer and the alcohol's flowing through me, and I can walk home and I'll do this and that. And it's like, dude, halfway home, like, you start to, it wears off and you start freezing your ass off. That's a cold walk home.
Well, especially when you're an underage drinker.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't really call your parents to pick you up because you don't want them to know that you're drinking, or it's like 2 a.m. and they're sleeping. There's this one time we were at the New Year's Eve party. Yeah. The same party that everyone thought at the school that someone lost their virginity in the granny room, but It was just my knee that was bleeding, and I was getting it on.
Just Ryan.
Like Marvin Gaye. And the cops showed up, and they busted the New Year's Eve party, so all of our drunk asses had to split. Like, we had to run out the door, and, like, I just remember that walk home, and, like, at the same time, when you're underage, you have to avoid, like, police officers as well.
Yeah, that's something, it's awful. Like, because you're walking home, if your town has a curfew, that always sucks too. And something that goes along with this is the bag. Yes. When you're underage and you're drinking, where do you put all your beer? I remember having all these, like, bottles, these cans of beer in my book bag, and you're walking around late at night with a book bag on the street. Okay, you're clearly not going to class. Like,
it's like you're leaving your house and your parents are like, oh, have fun. Like, are you bringing your homework, Johnny? No, you're not bringing your homework.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone, like, why do all of us thought we were slick when we were 16,
well,
17?
You tried to be extra slick.
Yes.
You told me a story about how you used to wrap towels around each individual bottle before leaving with your backpack.
Yeah. If you're sneaking out of the house, right, and you have this book bag and you're drinking and you don't want your parents to know, you gotta
go get the Yinglings.
Yeah.
You gotta go get them.
You get the beer, you get, wherever you hide them in your house, right? The thing is, you got that book bag. If it's clinking and clanking,
clink.
Yeah, if it's making noise, your mom's obviously gonna know what's going on. So it's like you gotta soften the sound. And what do? I used to take a towel and I used to wrap the beer bottles and the cans all around each other, so that none of the glass or the aluminum was, like, touching.
That's pretty epic. I remember I used to try to put a T-shirt in there, but I never your mom was probably like, where are all the washcloths? Like, Paul must be drinking tonight. Where's all the washcloths? I don't know where they are. Paul wrapped his Bud Light around, a washcloth around his Bud Light. But another thing about walking home is, like, whenever we kind of walk home from a party, like you said, we're in, like, a little town, so we're near our high school. So, like, I remember this one time, my buddy Mike, like, we went to our high school football field, and This is something good to do when you're drunk and you're smacked up around, like, universities. A lot of people do it. What guys always want to do when they're drunk is they want to hop on the football field, and when they want to do what? They want to run the 100-yard dash.
Yeah, I mean,
when you're drunk, you want to get on that football field and feel like a 5-star recruit and run the 100-yard dash. So I hear my buddy Mike, he's running the 100-yard dash, like clink, 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 clink. He's got the beer bottles in the back, but just something that people like to do.
Yeah, people think they're so fast. And people think they're so fast when they're drunk. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why do you think you turn into the Flash when you have, like, 10 beers in you?
One last thing, my buddy and I might get arrested for this, but we went to Coastal Carolina. And they're known for having, like, their teal turf on their football field. Nice little stadium. So we were drunk one time walking back to our dorm, and he thought it was a good idea to hop the fence and get on the teal turf football field at Coastal. So
breaking and entering.
You know me, breaking and entering. You know me, I'm yes man. I'm always down for a good story to tell my grandkids. So I hopped the fence. We fall in a couple bushes, and then he wanted to try out for the football team. So, like, he wanted to be on the football field and just feel like he was part of the team.
He was trying to live that moment.
Yeah, so he had his moment. That's exactly what it was. He wanted to live his moment. So he starts playing quarterback on, like, the 40-yard line, and I'm running, like, post slants and go routes, and I'm pretending to catch it, and we're just smacked up. So it was definitely a time to remember, but if the police might be out after us, so he got to live his moment, Paul.
He did. Yeah, that's all I got to do.
What's the next one?
It's you.
Oh, it's me. So having a conversation with someone else while at the urinal. It seems like a good idea, but in reality, it's not.
It's a terrible idea. The only thing that you should be focused on while at the urinal is the wall. You look straight, you find a nice spot on the wall, you find a line, maybe in the tile, and you just do your business. You pee, you go in the urinal, you make sure you're making it, and that's all you got to do. You don't go left, you don't go right.
Well, can you look at yourself? I look at myself. But then that's where the wandering eyes can get judged. And maybe people think that maybe I should stick to the wall.
Yeah.
The wall thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that was insane. So imagine Go back 30 years, right? Go back 30 years, and everyone was like all out there. Nobody was sensitive. You were doing your business in peace. So at the old stadiums and before urinals, wait, there's a thing that I think is really funny that if there's like 5 urinals, that really there's only 3 urinals.
Yeah, you never fill them up.
No, you never. You
gotta leave a break.
Yeah, there's always this like math going on when you pull up to the urinal. It's like, okay, now there's 5 open urinals. You pick a urinal. Then another guy walks in, but he's got to make sure that he's not next to you. So he's like, okay, I got to make sure I'm far enough away from him that it's not weird. So then he picks a urinal. Then a third guy comes in and is like, okay, well, do I want to be in the middle of them? No.
No, he's got to wait.
Yeah, he's just got to wait.
But that could get complicated at sporting events because there's a whole line at halftime and you just got to stand next to one another.
You got to go. But the thing is, old sporting arenas, they didn't have like these individual urinals. They had one giant tub.
Dude, that's nuts to me.
Like one giant tub, and it was
did.
on the wall, and basically all you did was you went up, whipped it out, and just started peeing. And like somebody could come up right next to you if there was a free spot, and everyone just was like no barriers, no individual urinals, just like one.
Just everyone
giant
seeing
thing.
each other's like junk.
And that was the manly
Peeing
thing to do.
in a tub together as a unit. My uncle actually just went to
As a unit,
peeing together, trying to overflow that tub. Real quick, my uncle went to Wrigley Field recently for like a trip to see a ball game, and they actually still have those tub urinals where everyone pees at the same time. That doesn't fly in today's world anymore.
That is a weird thing to like look back on. That like just doesn't fly today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Support for today's episode comes from Manscaped. Manscaped has the right tools to get the job done quickly, safely, and hygienically. Father's Day is just around the corner, and you probably need a gift for a hairy dad. Make your dad proud this year and get him and yourself the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, the ultra smooth package. You know what they say, like father, like son. The brand new Lawnmower 4.0 and ultra smooth package is perfect for you and the dad in your life to complete your grooming game. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Life'sAParty at manscaped.com.
Get 20% off with free shipping with the code Life'sAParty at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code Life'sAParty. It's dad bod season. It's time to get smooth, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to get smooth. Get the gift for your dad, but you don't have to groom him. It's for himself.
That's true.
So you don't have to do the grooming for him. It's made, it's very accessible for the older men, so they'll be able to shave their own bush.
Absolutely. I mean,
Absolutely.
you shave your balls, your dad shaves his balls. You don't need to shave your dad's balls. You know
I mean,
what
you guys can bond over something else.
Yeah.
Bond with the gift exchange.
It's Father's Day.
Don't
so
bond with the shaving together.
Don't bond with the activity of shaving. You know?
Find another hobby.
There you
Go
go.
have a catch. Grab a ball.
No, not his balls. You know?
Don't grab a ball. We're out of here. Manscaped, 20% off. Let's a party.
Next one. When you drink, you think you become Superman. As we said, maybe you become the Flash. Maybe you think you can
Maybe
run.
one of the Marvel characters.
Maybe. And a lot of times when you're drunk, you think you could climb or jump on anything. And you think, it's like, oh, that tree that's not too bad. I could climb that. It's like, oh, that hill's not that bad. I could climb that.
The first thing that comes to mind when you say this is the Eagles Philadelphia Super Bowl parade.
Absolutely.
And how nuts those people were during the parade. Didn't they rub Vaseline on the poles to try to tell people not to go climb these street poles? Like, you were there, you could speak way better on it.
Yeah.
And you actually went to this, and it was probably one of the most craziest things you've ever been a part of.
When the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2018, you could watch all on social media where everyone was basically jumping on or like climbing the lampposts,
cars,
the
lampposts,
street signs, like anything. It was madness in Philadelphia. And I know when they were winning, maybe like the Eastern Conference,
NFC.
Yeah, the NFC.
You're thinking of the Sixers. Sixers are going to win the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, that's I watched
But the
the
NFC. It's still considered East-West.
I watched the game last night. Yeah, when they were they're gonna win. That a lot of the police were like, hey, like we have to put Vaseline, we have to like lather up these like poles so that Philadelphia fans couldn't climb on them and like jump on top.
But
of them.
I feel like that's like them enticing the crowd to go do it. Like, if you tell a Philadelphian that we're going to try to stop you from doing this, we're going to put Vaseline on these poles, first thing they do when they touch down and out of the SEPTA, let's go climb those fucking poles, baby. Let's go birds, baby, big dick, Nick. Like, let's climb the poles.
That was that energy. Wait, have you seen those like memes where it's like, you think I'm pussy?
No.
Have you seen those?
No.
Okay, well, hopefully anyone listening, there's these memes and stuff on like Twitter, on TikTok now, where it's like a cat or maybe like a famous cartoon character, and they do something, and then they're like, "What? You think I'm pussy?" And it's just super funny. Like it is. It's
Well, they were like flipping cars and stuff.
Oh
Like,
my God.
It was the nuts. The videos I would see of like, or even just Snapchats of our friend. So when
Yeah.
they're drunk, especially Eagles fans, they think they can do whatever they want. Climb this, climb that, front flip this, back flip that, lick poop. I don't know. Stuff's going down.
yeah. I know, but there was actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there was one video in particular I remember seeing where the guy jumped off like the second or third story building, and he jumped on like an awning. Do you remember this?
Wait, was it like an overhang? And
Yeah, and he
went
jumped
through
on-
it like
Yeah.
like a pizza parlor overhang. That's all.
Dude, crazy. And that's the thing. You think you just don't think
Oh,
clearly.
the guy that was running like across the SEPTA and he hit the pole.
Yeah, that guy
that
too.
one went viral. The guy was running, gets the SEPTA, and he drills the pole and falls over.
Just trying to catch the train. It's like, you're not going to catch the train, guy. You're
Seems like
running.
a good idea drunk, but in reality, not a good idea sober.
No.
So the next one, we got two more left, is when you're drunk, you tend to make bullshit travel plans that you never follow through with. I am a victim of this, especially when our guys get drunk and the boys are drinking and we're talking about planning a golf trip to like Myrtle Beach or Florida. Yo, let's do a four-day weekend golf trip. We'll drive up. Everyone there at the party hammered. Yeah, let's do it. Let's book it. Let's book it. Next morning, we still in for this? No one's answering. Everybody's hungover, drinking Pedialyte, Gatorade. Like, no one's answering. Like, the travel plans don't happen.
Yeah, people love, because I think when you drink, you're just reminiscing on good times, and you want to have a good time, and you're there to have a good time, and you're like, what are some good times that we can have in the future? Let's
do it again.
While we drink. Let's do it more. Let's keep going. So you're like, hey, let's plan a trip, and let's plan a Carnival cruise, or let's plan, as we said, a golf trip. We've been trying to get the guys to do for a while now. So, but it's just something where everyone's, doing their own thing. They have their own life and their schedule and stuff. And when you're
not checking your
sober-
schedule when you're doing Fireball and scuba beer. You're not checking your calendar to see what you got to do with your family or whatnot.
Yeah,
you're just letting it rip.
You're agreeing. You're saying, hey, like, I would love to do that. And I think everyone truly does, but I think just, there's a difference when you get sober. You're just not. You're like, whatever.
It doesn't seem that great.
And the last thing we got here for this topic is when you're drunk, you spend a lot of money. No matter what's going on, I think, when you're drunk, you're like, hey, I'll buy another shot. Or, hey, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I'll buy a round of shots, hoping that other people will do the same for you. And maybe they don't. Or, like, you're just constantly spending the money to continue your good time and to have that, like, experience. And I think it's a good thing, but it's like, just be aware.
That's like a negative of being life's a party. Like,
Yeah.
being life's a party, you're going to hash out money. Dude, the other day I went to the bar. I was at Shady Katie's. That's a spot. Life's a party spot. We might have to have a show there one night.
Shit, we've talked live show.
We did talk about having a live show, but I went and got two Coors Light drafts because me and a buddy that comes in, we do a chug off. And I get there and I'm like impatient, so I get my two Coors drafts. I give him a $20 bill. I say, keep the change. What do you mean keep the change, Ryan? It's 20. I gave him a $20 bill for what?
Six
$4,
bucks.
Not even $6. Probably like $4.50.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to stop by Shady Katie's and get my damn change. But that's what the problem. I become a generous tipper.
Yes.
When I become hammered, and I get generous, order another drink. So you need another drink, I'll get it for you. Like, here, have the, like, it's just being life a party. You got to realize that you're gonna hash out a lot of money in order to have a good time.
I agree. Yeah, you're gonna keep spending money, and that's the thing. You want to just have a good time.
I gotta stop at Shady's and go.
Get that money.
2 weeks ago, I got these. They was giving me like $10 back. Let's make a deal,
Next segment, we're moving on. There's some awesome stuff happening right now in the theme park industry.
Cool stuff.
And awesome things.
Big on TikTok.
Yeah, big on, dude. If you're on TikTok, you've seen this. We're a little behind, but you've seen Avengers Campus. This is in Disney's California Adventure out in California. And there's just a lot going on, man. You got a new Spidey ride. You got...
Well, okay, let's talk about the Spidey ride.
Okay.
Because the first thing I saw on TikTok is that there was a Spider-Man doing quadruple front flips off a wire into a net. He's climbing down a wall. I think Spider-Man's actually real.
Yeah. Should be.
I was like amazed. I thought I was on Life's a Party TikTok for a second because I have my personal page TikTok.
Yes.
And you can go on that feed, and that feed's different than Life's a Party. Life's a Party, you see like podcast, movie, drinking stuff, and then mine's different. I was like, why is Marvel shit on mine? But this is like a big deal in the Marvel universe and even just theme park universe.
Yeah, Avengers Campus is pretty dope. What Ryan's talking about is, so Disney developed this new type of animatronic. So when you're in the parks, you're on Pirates of the Caribbean, and there's like, you know, like these robots moving, right?
The T-Rexes, that's a good example.
Yeah.
I always get confused with animatronics. And you always tell me, Ryan, it's like the dinosaurs in like Jurassic World or stuff. Those are animatronics. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so these like fake robot, you know, figures, and they have like these skins on them that make them feel real, and you're in the parks. Where Disney's been developing this type of animatronic for years, where it's a robot that can do stunts, and
we're gonna die.
Yeah,
like they're coming for us.
They
soon.
are.
Elon Musk wasn't messing around. Like, AI is coming to kill us.
And they have been developing it specifically for Spider-Man. And the way they've been doing it is it's called a stuntronic. So instead of an animatronic, a stuntronic, where it is a robot who can do some stunts. They put him on a wire, and that they release him to this wire, and he moves around a little bit. His body's moving as though he's like Spider-Man, or jumping around, or swinging, or that kind of thing. And obviously Spider-Man, because he has a full suit and the mask, where it's very easy to cover this animatronic, this robot, and that it looks like a real human being because the body structure's the same way, and it looks really real. And I just think it's an awesome...
That's amazing. Do you think movies have used that type of like... And you think... Well, here's another good question. So you think stuntmen are going to go out of business because of these animatronics?
No, I think the stunt work in general has... in recent history with specifically movies such as John Wick. Have you ever seen a John Wick film?
Nah, but I know about
Okay, but like John Wick is very, you know, it's like a modern day
James Bond.
Yeah, I was exactly what I was going to say, where it's just a little more gritty and it's
gritty.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Flowers basket?
No. A lot more gritty, gruesome, and he just does a lot of crazy stunts. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And I just think that work is getting too intricate, where like a robot just doesn't make any more sense. I think financially it would make more sense to do like CGI and visual effects.
Right.
So like I don't think, but this, because they're performing every day, they're putting it in an amusement park, it makes sense to develop the technology and do it.
One thing you talked about the Spider-Man, you said like something about like the web and how people can feel like they're shooting web or something.
Yeah. So there's a new ride, and that's so Spider-Man.
This isn't tied into the Stuntman, right?
Well, it's not, but it's right in the same area. So Ryan's talking about there's a new Spider-Man ride in Avengers Campus. It's called Spider-Man Web Slingers, and it is basically the similar ride system to Toy Story Mania over in Hollywood Studios, where it's like a shooter ride and you're shooting at screens and you're trying to get points and that kind of thing.
I'm good at that game.
Yeah, it's that kind of idea, but instead, pew 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 pew. Okay. Instead of that idea, there's no more like handheld, like a gun or a shooter, where because of Spider-Man has his famous hand gesture.
Yeah, Spidey-Man. Spider-Man doesn't use guns. He uses his hands.
His hands. So they've developed a system where basically they're tracking your gestures and your movements. They have sensors all over the ride vehicle, where if you're like throwing your hands and you're throwing up the famous Spider-Man gesture, that it is catching it and will put a web onto the screen to help catch the spider bots is what you have to get in the ride. And then whoever's getting the most spider bots gets the most points and that kind of thing. So that's a Spider-Man attraction, Spider-Man Web Slingers at Disney's California
Just don't
Adventure.
throw up like gang signs. Just keep it to the keep it to the pew pew, the Spidey move. Don't be throwing gang signs up in LA. You know, you can get got around there. Stick with the pew pew.
Oh my god! But that's what's going on in the theme park industry right now. With Avengers Campus, there's some other stuff going on, but they do have a lot of characters walking around. Captain America, Iron Man. They have the new like Captain America from Falcon and Winter Soldier, and they have Loki in there now too.
I was going to ask, isn't there a Loki movie's coming out, or did it come out?
So a Loki, as you're listening to this, today is Wednesday. I don't know what today is. Wednesday.
The 9th.
Yeah, Wednesday, June 9th.
69.
It is 69.
It's 69. Kids show. But it is 69.
Loki, the series on Disney Plus came out today.
Oh, it's a series.
It is a series. So the first episode will be out while you're listening to this next week. Get ready for episode 2 coming out on Wednesday. And it was pretty good. I watched this morning, and if you're a Loki fan, it's pretty dope. I mean, it's a very, if you like time travel, you're gonna like this a lot. It's very time travel-esque.
You like time travel.
I love time travel, so boom.
I'm gonna start singing that song that went viral on TikTok.
What song?
The one we talked about before.
Oh,
the show.
yeah.
I'm not gonna get into that. Is that all you got on Avengers or Marvel?
Yeah, you're really Marvel. Ryan was saying, like, we have a bunch of movies coming out recently.
Yeah, I did see that, like, someone on TikTok was saying, that's always TikTok. TikTok runs the world. Like, Beyonce used to say girls used to run the world. Like, we run the world. Like, it's TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok runs the world, not the girls, Beyonce. But I saw someone on TikTok was like, yo, like, Marvel has really, like, been hiding a bunch of, not hiding a bunch of stuff, but they haven't been putting any new content out. And they're all about to hit us with a big wave at once.
Yeah.
It's all coming down very soon. Like, the Loki show, and then there's the, who's Scarlett Johansson's character?
Black Widow.
She's got a movie coming out. I'm not going to act like I know what I'm talking about, but I know there was a shit ton of Marvel stuff coming out.
Yeah, so there was Avengers Endgame, and then there was Spider-Man, Far From Home. And then we weren't supposed to have a new film until Black Widow last May. And then obviously pandemic hit. And we didn't have Marvel for like a year.
Yeah,
so that's what was crazy. And then basically we had WandaVision in December. We had Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think, in March. And now we have Loki that's premiering in June. Next month we get Black Widow. September. I have these dates on here. I don't want to get these wrong. Shang-Chi comes out on September 3rd.
Shang-Chi?
Yeah, it's a
What the hell is that?
a Chinese superhero. It's like what's his name? Bruce Lee.
Shang-Chi.
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 Shang.
Jackie Chan.
That comes out September 3rd. We have The Eternals coming out November 5th. And then we also have Spider-Man No Way Home coming out in December. So,
yeah.
We are getting
pew, 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 pew. Who's excited? I'm excited.
We have a lot of Marvel content coming out very soon. Get ready.
One quick thing before we get into our last block. Do you think because of the pandemic, that Marvel has shuffled their schedule around?
Yeah.
Because you said, like, the few things you said that came out with Marvel stuff, I feel like that's, like, not to be an asshole, but, like, little stuff. Like, not popular.
Okay.
So do you think they, like, didn't they move Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, so Black Widow.
Then they moved that window. So you definitely think they shuffled around their orders of release dates and projects on when they're going to release them because of the pandemic.
Yeah, they are. And I think, unfortunately, because Marvel is very heavy on, their tied-in universe, that everything is supposed to come out in a certain order. And I think for the first time, because of the pandemic, they had to do some shuffling. Originally, they had the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's supposed to come out last summer, and it didn't come out till March, and WandaVision came out in December, and they had to switch those two release dates. Unfortunately, or fortunately for them, they really didn't have an issue, like, timeline-wise. They didn't really cross over, and didn't really matter which one came out first. But a lot of their movies, it's important which one comes out first.
Yeah.
And I heard there was something that was supposed to happen in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that they had to cut out from the series because Black Widow didn't come out.
Damn.
So they were like, hey, we have to, this is getting revealed in Black Widow. And because Black Widow will no longer come out, we can't reveal that yet. So they had to switch some stuff around.
Damn.
But
that's some inside Marvel stuff.
There you go. Last thing we got here.
Here we go, baby. So Paul and I, if you follow us, if you hop on our TikTok lives or Instagram lives, we're Jersey boys.
That's what we are, baby.
Why we both do this?
Fist pump it. Fist pump,
we're Jersey boys at heart. Live in the South Jersey area, so we thought it'd be a good idea to go down some Jersey slang, because a lot of people who come to Jersey, or a lot of people, like New Jersey people, like to travel and go across the country, and a lot of people are telling us how our accent is this, you guys say things weird, what's this slang? So we're going to go down and break it down, because we got some fans across all over the map. So we're Jersey boys, we're going to tell you about these slang words. The first one, Paul, what is the first slang of Jerseys?
Two things you have to know about, depending on what type of Jersey you're from, if you're from north or south, is Wawa or Quick Check.
It's Wawa. There's no Quick Check.
So
Wawa is the number one quick stop to shop, one shop. I don't even know what I'm saying, but you go there if you need anything on the list.
Yeah, Wawa.
Toothpaste, hoagie, Snickers bar, icy, milkshake, You need to go get money.
Hit the Wawa.
You hit the Wawa.
So
you need to go get gas. You hit the Wawa.
Hit the Wawa. Wawa and Quick Check are both, like gas station convenience stores. Wawa wasn't originally a gas station. They kind of added super Wawas, as we call them, as like the original Wawa shop adds a gas station. It becomes Wawa to Super Wawa. And now they're doing them. Now all they do is make gas stations like with their Wawas. But it's just a convenience store.
No, it's not just a convenience. It's praised. I mean, we praise Wawa. It's
do.
basically a Walmart or a ShopRite condensed in a little like shed.
Yeah.
And just has everything you need there.
Yeah. It's the idea.
So Wawa.
If you're on the East Coast, Wawa's Northeast and East Coast. They've been expanding down to like Florida. There's a few in Florida, but mostly it's Northeast, New Jersey, New York, and that kind of thing. And we love our Wawa. So
Wawa. And then people go there for hoagies. That's another thing.
that's a hoagie, baby.
No one really knows what a hoagie is. I don't like them. It smells like BO. I'm not gonna eat something that smells like BO. Hot take. but people go get hoagies. It's another thing people don't eat. It's like a sub sandwich.
Yeah.
All right, next one is a shoobie.
A shoobie.
This is the person that goes on the train, hops on the bus. You go down the shore, you go to the beach. You don't own a beach house.
Nope.
You just go for the day, and then you just go out to eat, and then you go home. You're a shoobie. You're not from the Jersey Beach,
Yeah.
the Jersey Shore. You're not from the Jersey Shore, so you're considered a shoobie.
And a lot of
It's
locals.
very fucked up. I mean, it's like you don't belong here
Yeah.
if you don't have a house.
What I was gonna say is a lot of locals don't like the shoobies.
They
right?
don't like the shoobies because they're parking in spots they shouldn't park.
Yeah.
They're crowding the beach on holidays. They're drinking on the beach. They're messing it up. People who have a house down the shore don't enjoy the shoobies. Don't be a shoobie.
So something as I just thought of, as Ryan said it, was something that New Jersey people do when you want to go, swimming, and it's on the coast. You go down the shore.
Down the shore.
You don't go to the beach.
No.
You go down the shore.
Down the shore.
So that's something that we say in New Jersey. I'm curious to see what other people say. Let us know.
All right,
Next one we got. Oh, did we switch?
No, you got it, bro.
Oh, sorry. Next one we have is pork roll or Taylor ham.
Well, Paul's really big in this debate because his girlfriend lives in toward North Jersey. So Paul's always going in and back and forth. Us South Jersey people should give Paul some respect because he's fighting for us.
Yeah, I am. I got you.
The answer is pork roll.
Pork roll.
It's literally pork in a roll. I don't know why you would ever say Taylor ham.
A lot of people say Taylor ham because of the company. So they say, hey, it's like Taylor's ham, so it's Taylor ham. But it's like, no, it's like, that's the brand, bro.
Yeah.
The actual item is pork roll.
Like, you're not going to call DiGiorno's pizza or just pizza in all DiGiorno.
You're not going to call all the pizza DiGiorno because DiGiorno is a brand. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
man.
it's not Taylor ham. It's by far pork roll. I don't even think we have to spend any more time on that.
No, let's move on.
Pork roll. I'm wondering, do you think...
We don't, keep going.
I don't think we spend more time. You know what? I have to get off my chest.
What?
Do people who aren't from Jersey all call it pork roll? Like, what is the universal term for pork roll?
If we ask a person in California, what do they say?
That's the question.
I want to know. Let us know.
I never really thought about that. All right. So next one is something that Jersey people like to say is what exit. Like, that's how you understand where someone is from.
Yeah.
Is saying what exit, because the turnpike, the Jersey Turnpike, it's also a dance. So if you Jersey Turnpike,
It is.
It's basically the Jersey Turnpike was invented before twerking.
Yes.
So like the people who are older than us, like Jersey Shore, like Snooki and them, they would Jersey Turnpike.
Okay.
And that was twerking before twerking was even a word. But what I'm getting at is that the Jersey Turnpike, you can pretty much go from North Jersey to South Jersey all on one road. So then you just say what exit you're on or what exit you live on to kind of get a gauge on how far that person lives from you.
A lot of people don't really know. I mean, New Jersey's not huge, but because like I'm always traveling up in North Jersey or South Jersey, like I don't know specifically where every town is, but because of that fact, like you ask people what exit you're from. So it's like, hey, I don't really know what you're from. They'll be like, oh, I'm from Asbury Park, and I'm like, I don't know what exit that is. Or like they're like, oh, that's exit, X, Y, and Z. They'll be like, oh, that's exit whatever, and they'll be like, oh, what town are you from? And they'll say
Haddonfield.
Yeah, they'll say Haddonfield, or they're like, oh, what exit do you get off of? And I was like, I get off exit 4. He's
You're
like,
like,
oh, cool.
okay, I know where that is.
He's like, oh, I get off at 6, man. That's cool. And I'm like, okay, like
You don't know until the exits come into play.
because you don't really know all the towns that you can kind of get a range for where people live just based on where they get off on that exit. So
It's really a beautiful thing.
it is.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, next one. Next one's my favorite one.
Yeah, next one, because Here in Jersey, we don't pump our own gas.
You don't pump it.
If you didn't know that, New Jersey is the only state that does not pump their own gas. We pull up to the gas station and someone comes out and does it for us. It's a wonderful thing. If you're not in Jersey, I apologize. It's an amazing luxury we have here. And something that is very popular is that when the gas attendant comes up to your car, you hand him a $20 bill and you say 20 regular cash.
Yeah, 20 regular cash.
And that is the statement. That is New Jersey to a T. And that's just, that's just what we do.
I could be on E. I could have half a tank no matter what my what's it called?
My thermometer.
Whatever my meter's at, I'm getting 20 regular cash.
Yeah.
Like I got a $20 bill cash, 20 regular, give me that cash. But the thing is about Jersey is since we don't pump our own gas, is like we're so alienized about when we cross over to different states.
Oh my God.
We have emotional anxiety about who's going to pump the gas. Like we don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So like when we go on like a family trip to Florida and we're road tripping it, we're trying to figure out, like, oh, my God, like, who's going to pump the gas? Like, what do we do? And, like, everyone's there.
Do you got it? I got it? Like, who knows how to do it?
Right,
Like,
you went to school in South Carolina. You know how to do it. I'm like, I think I know how to do it. And then it's, like, a big thing. And it's so funny because even when you're at the gas station, you feel judged.
Yeah, you do.
Because you have the Jersey license plate. And everyone there understands that, hey, Jersey people don't pump gas. So then you feel like everyone's watching you. And us Jersey people, we just don't know how to pump gas. And we get very overwhelmed. We don't know if we go in to pay. We don't know if we're accidentally stealing gas. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what to open this. We don't know what side. Or like it's just a whole habacle.
One of the worst things happens with this is if you get in another state but you don't realize you're in another state. You sit in your car for 20 minutes and realize that no one's coming up to get your gas.
This service sucks.
This is terrible, bro.
I remember the first time I got gas without having an attendant. I was like, where do I pay for this? Like I didn't know you had to go into the convenience store, tell them what pump you're at, and then pay that way. It's just we're lost. We're lost puppies. All right, so our next Jersey slang word is, well, you know how we're saying Jersey slang?
Jersey.
Like no one ever says New Jersey.
That's
it's
true.
always Jersey.
Jersey, baby.
Jersey boys.
Yeah, Jersey boys. It's just the vibes. You're from Jersey.
So one Jersey slang, maybe even carries over to Philly, is like if your girl comes over and you guys are hanging out, it's around dinner time, you'll go, hey, did you eat? Hey, did you eat today?
G?
Did you eat today? Like, did you eat? Like, did you eat?
G.
Turns into one. G.
G, baby.
G. Everybody understands it. Like, if you go up to somebody and be like, yo, G, they understand what you're talking about.
They do, absolutely.
It's just a nice little slang. It's like talking in cursive.
Yeah.
G. There's no spaces.
No.
I feel like I talk in cursive anyway, so. Pew, pew.
Next one we have is the jug handle.
This one is mind-boggling to me.
Because no other state really has this.
I didn't know no one else had this.
I think if we're wrong, let us know. But we assume that no other state has what is called a jug handle. And this is basically the idea that when you're driving, instead of going and
making a left.
Yeah, making a left. They're going to make you go all the way around. They're going to make you go right, to go right, then to go left. Like, it's basically you go up, you make a little turn around to your right, like in a little circle, and that way then you exit left from the way, like, you want to go. And it's just basically an extra long way. It's to help, Well,
it's because we're from Northeast.
Yeah.
And we're not from, like, the South or South Carolina and everyone's lally-gagging around going the speed limit. They came up with the jug handle, so then when we're going fast on the pike or we're going fast on a busy road, we're not slowing up traffic to make a left. Like, it keeps flowing. It's New York City. This is Philly. Like, everyone just has to keep up with the motion. So instead of stopping, go on your brakes, make a left, you got to go around the loop, wait for the light, and then continue straight. And that's how you make your left. The jug handle. They should have it everywhere.
The jug handle.
It sounds like a bar, the jug handle. Is there a jug handle bar?
It does sound like a great night, like a dive bar. The jug handle.
Don't drink and drive.
Welcome, Sabrina, to the jug handle.
Pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. All right, next one is, this one kind of correlates with the jug handle, is the Jersey slide, is what we call it. I don't know if other states have the balls, Manscaped, 20% off, balls to the wall, Manscaped. I don't know if other states have the balls to do the Jersey slide. The Jersey slide is when you start on the right lane, 4-lane highway, you Jersey slide, you switch 3 lanes at once.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going, like we said last episode, balls to the wall. Check it out if you haven't watched it. Balls to the wall. You're switching lanes 3 at once. You're not stopping and going. You're literally Jersey sliding across.
Yeah, Jersey slide. So whether you have an exit on the left, you have an exit on the right, basically you're sliding all the way across the turnpike or the parkway or wherever, and you're doing one complete motion to get to your exit right before you miss it.
Yeah.
And you don't give a shit about anyone else who's driving. You got to get over because you're not driving around. That's just not happening. You got to get over. Complete the Jersey slide.
Jersey people refuse to miss exits.
Yeah.
I mean, they will go to all costs before they miss an exit. Even though you just go to the next exit and get off anyway. People from Jersey refuse to miss an exit. You'll see people freaking reversing it down the shoulder.
I was just gonna say that. I've seen it like twice in the past 2 months where I'm on I'm on the highway and I'm literally like, I see the exit and I see someone who missed the exit and they're reversing it. And I'm like, bro, you're gonna get killed. Like, you can't do that. You have just go forward.
No.
Like you can't spend an extra 5 minutes. Like, what are you doing? It's awful.
I feel like it's always minivans. Just go. The time you're spending to go reverse is by the time you would have made up that 5 minutes for missing the exit.
Yeah, 100% agree.
All right, the next one is. Oh no, you got the next one. You like this one, the Halloween one.
Oh yeah. So this is.
Why am I telling you like this one?
I love this.
You will like.
I want to
this
know
one.
if this is also a Jersey thing too. I feel like it is, but I hope it's not.
You told me it was, and I was like, really?
Yeah. So October 30th in New Jersey, we have a thing called Mischief Night, and I think another state might have it, but they call it something different. But basically, this is always the night before Halloween.
Well, Camden, New Jersey has it every night.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm just saying. Other cities have it every night.
October 30th, the night before Halloween, we have a night called Mischief Night where kids will go around and they'll basically create like little pranks on people's house. Like they'll TP other people's houses. They'll write soap on cars. They'll peg people with water balloons. They'll
shit in a bag and light it on fire.
Shit in a bag.
That's a bad one. I never did that one, Mom.
Yeah,
I did the other ones, not that one.
Yeah, like the bag, you leave it on like a teacher's front porch. You shit in a bag, you leave it on their porch, you light it on fire. Then they're like, oh, it's on fire. They got to, stomp on the bag to get the fire out, and then they see that there's poop all over their leg.
Unreal. Actually, now that you explain what Mischief Night is, I'm starting to think that Jersey people are the only ones that do it.
Yeah, there's got to be.
I mean, I don't see anybody. I don't see Delilah from Tennessee doing Mischief Night.
No.
I don't see it happening.
We used to do like eggs and stuff all the time too, where you would like egg people, or you would
Shaving cream.
You put shaving cream on what, like cars or front houses?
Like cars or their doorknobs.
Yeah, doorknobs. But like eggs and stuff. Like people used to egg people's houses.
It's nuts.
And I'm like, what? Like,
Well, they're kids too, which is weird.
it was always a kid thing. It was like you were it was for teenagers to go out before Halloween and just get rowdy and just like fuck shit up. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. I want to know if other states do it. Let us know.
Next one. It's starting to be that weather. That summer hot poolside weather. What do you need on a nice hot day? You need some water ice.
Water ice, baby.
Not everyone has water ice?
No. So here's the thing. A lot of people, I think only South Jersey, because I know North Jersey calls it Italian ice.
So does Philly, I think, because like when you go to like Sixers or Phillies games, they'll say Italian ice.
And I think the rest of the country says Italian ice.
Probably.
So it's frozen ice with flavoring. It's water ice. We call it water ice here. A lot of people don't like it. They say, call it Italian ice. Rita's is like Italian ice. That's a chain. So it's just a funny thing, but I think that's really specific to our area of New Jersey.
Water ice.
Water ice.
It's like water or water.
I think that's an accent thing. Yeah.
Water.
With
I say
New
water
Jersey.
ice. A little water ice with a little blue raspberry water ice with a vanilla sauce.
Water. Yeah. Water's a Philly thing, I think.
Water.
It's like Wooder. Wooder. And last thing we got here to end the show, a lot of people will say there are 2 parts of Jersey, and a lot of people will say there are actually 3 parts of Jersey. I'm a 2-part of Jersey person. I think there is a North Jersey, and I think there is a South Jersey.
I hear a lot of passion in that.
A lot of people, yes.
A lot of passion.
This was a big thing that I had arguments with when I went to college up in North
You're
Jersey.
that guy.
A lot of people would be like, but there's this thing in the middle of the state. It's called Central Jersey. And I'm like, that's a mythical place.
That's a mythical place.
That doesn't exist.
That's like Narnia.
That's
Narnia and Central Jersey are the same thing.
Exactly the same
mythical
thing. There's a North Jersey, there's a South Jersey, and they're like, oh, but I live in the middle of the state, so I'm Central Jersey. It's like, no, bitch, there's a line.
There's Pauly D, and then there's unicorns. It's
Yeah.
like, that's what
Just like any divider anywhere, there's a line, and you'll fit on one side of it but just because you think you're close to both, like, like here's the thing, right? We're both on the age of where we can kind of be in the middle of a millennial and a Gen Z, right?
Yeah, we get to pick.
We kind of get to pick.
Like, who's fucking up now? Gen Z's in the news? Millennials.
We're kind of right on that edge. We don't create a new thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're just with the flow.
We either pick a side, and I think that's what you have to do if you believe you live in Central Jersey. I'm sorry if I'm offending you, but I'm not, because it doesn't exist. Get your facts straight. You live in North Jersey, South Jersey, New Jersey.
Yeah. This says some say there's 4 parts.
Who says 4?
What the hell would be the 4th
Did
part?
you know
I guess they would consider the Jersey Shore another part.
Okay, that's interesting.
So it'd be like North Jersey, South Jersey, Central Jersey, and then the Jersey Shore.
I think the Jersey Shore is very different.
I agree. I think Jersey Shore should be its own thing. I think it might have to.
It's
like a different lifestyle.
It is. It's very different lifestyle.
It's a very different lifestyle. Well, what I was gonna say is, like, we had a baseball game against Barnegat, and they're Central Jersey, and they're like, well, I don't know what they are, but the coach is like, yeah, we're going to Barnegat. They're like Central Jersey. I was like, what the hell is Central Jersey? I don't know what that is.
Mythical place.
It's a mythical place. Like, we have Bruce Springsteen, they have unicorns. Like, that's what it is.
There you go. That is our show. Appreciate you guys listening as always. Life's party. Life is always a party. I'm glad we're here this week. We're doing a lot of good things. We appreciate you guys sticking around.
We're working on some merch.
Yeah.
We're working on a set. We're working with other companies. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we're excited for, so definitely subscribe on YouTube. What we have to always tell them, we haven't told them this yet, is that the alert button.
Oh, yeah, YouTube.
They should start popping that.
Yeah.
Popping that like Molly.
As we get our YouTube channel more, I don't know, we just got to get it more established, really. But you can always subscribe and hit the notifications like bell icon. You'll be notified when we upload a new video. But if you watch on YouTube, we upload every Monday night around like 7 or 8 o'clock. So just be aware of that. A lot of people, if you listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, if you ever like bug in to get the show and listen to it early, we always say it comes out on Tuesday mornings. It actually comes out Monday nights. So if you're a true fan, you get to the end of the show, you get that little take.
I've been dying to say something real quick while we wrap the show up.
Yeah.
So a shirt I'm wearing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Is Matt Mayer. Shout him out. He's big in film. He does great creative work.
He made our logo.
And he made these shirts, and they're Degenerate Gambler shirts. And on the back, you can't see it, but it's all of like the casinos from Atlantic City or Vegas, but it says Degenerate Gambler. So it's like Degenerate Gamblers as Hard Rock Casinos logo. Degenerate Gamblers as like Harrah's or like Oceans or Caesars and Borgata. And so it's a really cool shirt. So what I'm saying is, if you're like creative in that aspect, I need a new wardrobe. So if you have some stuff, like if you have a cool hat that you fuck with, or you have some shirts that you want us to rep on here just to give you a shout out, or some exposure for free, knock your socks off. I'm a double X, so toss it this way.
There you go. That's been the show. We appreciate you guys listening as always.
Music, take us out. Later.